Why, hello, and welcome to this very special webinar broadcast. So pleased that you are here with us. We do have a very large and international crowd here for today's presentation. And I wanted to start off the presentation by just kind of giving you a little rundown on what to expect in today's training. The fact of the matter is we're going to be chatting about Pinterest profits and how you can go about getting your piece of the $11 billion annual share economy, cashing in on what John Kramer and myself call peer-to-peer social tokens. And we'll tell you more about that here in a little while. And in kind of part and parcel with teaching this to you, we're actually going to be covering one very controversial case study with you on how we were able to drive actually over 168,000 clicks to our website with just one graphic via Pinterest. Okay, so I do want to let you know that before we kind of get underway proper here, that there are very easy to understand broad concepts that you will very quickly get. And the reason I sort of say that is to let you know also that, like so many things in life and especially in business, that the profit are not in the big picture. The profit's in the nuances and in the subtleties. And those subtleties and nuances and wrinkles, they're easy to miss if you are not paying attention. So I'm going to go ahead and ask you right now to turn off your anything that's going to distract you, your cell phone, your smartphone, your email client, Facebook or Instagram, anything that's going to distract you from today's presentation, because I do not want you to miss one of these important points, which I got to tell you will often be the difference between you being profitable and successful and not. So please do give us your 100% attention here. Now, I do want to start off the presentation with a little bit of a bio of myself and my good friend and business partner, John Kramer. Here's a picture of us. I'm this guy here. My name is Daniel Hall. I'm a best-selling author, speaker, publisher, nurse, attorney. Yeah, that's right, nurse attorney, and a podcaster. I'm also the creator of the highly popular Real Fast brand of training products. Now, I am basically the MC here today. I'm the one that's kind of going to keep things moving. But the star of the show is my good buddy right here, John Kramer. Now, John is an expert in book publishing and marketing in general. He is also the author of 1001 Ways to Market Your Books. He is known as the grandfather of book marketing, and it's not just me that says great things about John Kramer. In fact, folks like Mark Victor Hansen and Jack Canfield said, if you want to sell 600 million books like we have, read and use John's book. And even Stephen Covey said John Kramer was instrumental to our success in making the 7 Habits of Highly Effective People one of the 2 most influential business books of the 20th century. Now, I know you're probably sitting there wondering, well, that's all well and good for John Kramer, but what the heck does it have to do with me? The only reason I start off this presentation in this manner is so that you understand the level and quality of marketing acumen headed down the tracks at you right now. So, like I said, get out a way to take notes, because you're going to want to take lots of notes in today's presentation. Now, the other thing I wanted to make sure that you are very aware of is that we are here live with you. This is a live recording. It is not a it's not an evergreen webinar. We are here with you. And the reason why I kind of make a big deal about that is because I want you to understand that we are here to custom tailor this presentation to you. So we're going to be asking a lot of questions of you, and you and I are going to be communicating quite a bit in today's presentation. And my first question is this, and that is, what are you selling online? In other words, do you have books on Amazon? Do you have physical products maybe that you have a Shopify store, or you've got Amazon listings somewhere, maybe something with fulfillment by Amazon? Do you do affiliate offers? Do you have Etsy or eBay or Amazon store? Let me hear from you in the chat. Now, here's the other really important thing, super important, because you need to also include a link to your offer. So if I were to ask, hey, where could I go buy your thing, whatever your offer is, and you sent me that link, put that link in the chat right now. And here's why. Because I'm going to choose one of you that at the near the end of this demonstration, I'm actually going to choose one of you and build a complete Pinterest funnel for somebody here that that gives me the link to their offer. And of course, so you'll have one lucky winner. By the way, that's a $450 value that we're going to give away. To one of you, and then the rest of you can emulate or model what I'm going to be teaching. So everyone wins here. But do get that link, the link to whatever it is you're selling into the chat area right now. And I do see we do have folks from all over. And Angela says, okay, thechickencoop.com, lovely. That's perfect, Angela. And who else wants to throw their hat in the ring here? We got Lordana here. Nice. All right, cool. So we'll choose one of you here in due course. But get those links to whatever it is you're selling into the chat right now. Now that I have a much better idea of what it is you're selling, I do have this additional question for you. How are sales going? Let me know in the chat. Put a 1 in the chat if your sales could be better. Maybe you haven't even started selling yet, but you've got something out there, but you just would like to see a lot more sales. Put a 1 in the chat if that describes you. Put a 2 in the chat if you've got you got a store up, you got some sort of a product up, and you are seeing sales, but you would definitely like to increase them. That put a 2 in the chat, that describes you. And put a 3 in the chat if you're just doing really, really well and you're basically happy with your level of sales and you don't think that you need any more marketing help. And I'm looking here. Let's see. We've got Todd says 1, and Husam is a 1, 1, 1, 1. We have 2, 2, 2, 2, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. Okay, excellent. Thank you for that. And what's really interesting here is no one put a 3 in. And the fact is that if you put in a 1 or a 2, that I believe that you and I can agree anyway that you have a fundamental problem. And that fundamental problem is just not enough people know that you exist. Not enough people, in other words, are actually seeing your offer. So if people don't know that you exist, that you have a solution out there for people, but they just don't know how to access you or that you're out there, you're not going to sell as much, obviously. So that actually brings up another question. But what if you had automatic demand and instant momentum for whatever it is you are selling? Do you think that that would help you? So go to the questions box and answer that question. If you had automatic demand and instant momentum for whatever it is that you are selling, do you think that would help you? And the responses are coming in. Oh, yes, says Benjamin. Absolutely. We got a couple of courses for sure, says Johan. Okay. Well, that's really, really good news that you feel that way, because in today's presentation, we're actually going to show you a solution, and that solution is actually in harnessing what John and I call the share economy. Now, before I go any further in sort of setting this up, I want to make sure they're all on the same page when I use the word share economy. Essentially, these are companies that are characterized by peer-to-peer help and service. So when we typically think of a share economy company, we think of companies like Uber, Airbnb, Lyft, TaskRabbit, and others. So my other question for you here is, have you either used one of these services or perhaps know of a friend or family member who has, used Uber, Airbnb, Lyft, etc.? So yeah, we're seeing their responses come in here. It looks like most of you have a great idea of what it is. So I'm not gonna belabor this anymore. So let's jump into today's training, and actually start with applying this idea of a social platform to social media. Because the first time we sort of looked at the share economy and social media platforms, we thought that all of the big social media platforms actually participated in the share economy. At least that's what we thought going in. But on closer inspection, we first looked at Facebook and Instagram, and you maybe have already figured this out or realized this, but in order to get any significant exposure on Facebook and Instagram, you've got to pay to play. You've got to pony up money to pay for Facebook ads to actually get any significant exposure there. As a matter of fact, if you are a Facebook user, you are the product. It is your eyeballs, your attention on Facebook that Facebook is actually selling to advertisers. But that doesn't sound much like a share economy company to me. I mean, works great for Facebook, but not so good for marketers. The other one that comes up is Twitter, and of course you could share on Twitter. That's called the retweet or the RT. But the big problem with Twitter is that the half-life of a tweet is 24 minutes. And it's only to your followers. So for the most part, it's just not worth sharing there. And what I mean by a half-life here is that that basically half the people that will ever see your tweet on Twitter will see it in the first 24 minutes. That's what that means essentially. So it goes away very, very quickly. And once again, in order to get massive exposure on Twitter, you've got to pay. You've got to do a sponsored tweet. And then that, of course, brings up LinkedIn. And of course, you could share content on LinkedIn as well, but most of it is shared within professional groups and only with your connections. As a matter of fact, that goes for all of these: Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, LinkedIn. Anything you put up on any of these sites only goes to those people that are either following you or friends of yours, and that's it. It does not go to the entire universe or everyone that's on Facebook, Twitter, or LinkedIn. But that actually brought us to an evaluation of Pinterest, which John Kramer and myself actually identified as the one and only social platform that does in fact participate in the share economy. And one of the great things about Pinterest, and actually this is one of those things that you should be writing down, is that any post you make on Pinterest can be seen by all Pinterest users. Now, it can be seen. It doesn't necessarily mean it will be seen by all Pinterest users, but just the fact that it can be seen is a big doggone deal, especially when you couple that with the fact that you could easily be found even years later on Pinterest. As a matter of fact, the way I want you to understand Pinterest from here on out is it is very archival in nature, much the same way that YouTube is archival in nature. So I'll give you an example here. Let's say that you started on YouTube, put your very first video up on YouTube back in 2008. Well, that video is still findable, is still in your account, and still is searchable by anyone that searches YouTube. Well, it's the same thing on Pinterest. Something you put up on Pinterest stays on Pinterest, doesn't go away like Facebook and Twitter. And the really cool thing about that is when you understand that it's archival in nature and that it can be seen by all Pinterest users, and you couple that with the fact that the whole backbone and culture of Pinterest is in sharing, or what Pinterest actually calls repinning, then you start to understand the huge power that Pinterest has for marketers. So now that I've kind of given you a thumbnail introduction to Pinterest, let me ask you in the chat right now, if you currently have a Pinterest profile. Are you on Pinterest right now? Let me know in the chat if you do. So Angela says yes, and Alan says yes. That will change today, Brian. So with you, Johan, And great. So looks like most folks do in fact have a Pinterest profile, which is great. And the reason why I say that is because, well, for those that said no, let me briefly explain what Pinterest truly is. Pinterest essentially is like an online bulletin board. Okay. Now I'm sure you've had like a cork board with thumbtacks, and you put up notes and pictures and things like that in the analog world. Well, Pinterest is essentially an online bulletin board. So it does the same thing that a offline bulletin board does, but it's online. So it's mostly for collecting visual pieces of multimedia. So you could actually put up and post things to Pinterest like videos, like cinemagraphs and animated GIFs. But it's mostly about pinning static images. So it's things like JPEGs and GIFs and PNG files and just static images. That's mostly what it's about there. Now, the thing that I really love about Pinterest, and this is another writer downer, it's super important you understand that, is that people use Pinterest to discover and save new ideas. Why is that? Because Pinterest is, in fact, a search engine, okay? So first and foremost, Pinterest is a search engine where people go to Pinterest to discover and save new ideas. I'll give you an example of what I'm talking about here. So I am in the middle of a redecorating project. My wife and I are redecorating our master bedroom, okay? And what I did to discover some new ideas, I went to Pinterest and I typed in 4 keywords: master bedroom redecorating ideas, and it literally returned page after page after page of these beautiful, gorgeous images that did in fact give me a lot of ideas that I am using in our remodel. Now, what I want you to understand is that these ideas can take lots of forms, including your niche, ideas from your niche, whatever it is you are selling online. So they could go from anything from corporate speaking to recipes to DIY projects to winter gardening to skiing in the Alps to to management consulting to everything in between. Okay, so that's the really cool thing about Pinterest, is that every one of these ideas, whatever idea you're actually pinning to Pinterest, is in fact a pin. Now, by the way, when I say pin, let's establish some terminology here, some definitions, so that we're all kind of on the same page. When I say pin, I want you to think image. Okay, so every pin at a minimum has an image. Now, in addition to an image, it might have a description, and this is important, a link back to that image's source online. Okay. And the reason why I've actually underlined this in red for you is so that you understand just how important that pin is, because you can in fact embed a clickable link so that when somebody clicks your pin on Pinterest, it takes them off to your website or wherever you want to send them. So when people click on this pin's URL, they could find out more about the idea and potentially act on that idea. So I kind of actually want to do this in real time here with on Pinterest. So here I am on Googly. So let me go to Pinterest right now, and I'm going to show you how most people repin and pin from the beginning. So a couple things I want to show you here is first off, right up here, I want you to notice that this is Daniel Hall Real Fast Results. So I have a podcast called realfastresults.com, and I want to promote it. So the first bit of lesson here, as we look at this profile page, is the fact that you could put anything right here that you want. So it could be your name, it could be your name, baseball coach, or it could say, your name, expert in, management consulting, whatever it is. So you could, in other words, this does not have to be your proper name. Could be a brand, the name, the name of your book, or in my case, the name of my podcast plus my name. So that's the very first thing I want you to understand. Now, the other thing I want you to notice here is that, and by the way, this applies to the males of the species. So if you are a male, please listen up. This is super important. About 70 to 80% of the active users on Pinterest are, in fact, female, okay? Which is a really great thing, because females in our culture and our society actually do they make most of the buying decisions. They make most of the decisions on how money gets spent. That's really good if you're a marketer like us. So, but here's the other thing. It's been reported that some users will hit a page like this, and if they see this creepy looking guy looking back at them in the profile, that they take off. They bolt. They will not engage or interact with anything on your profile. So if you are a male, okay, if you are a male of the species, have a picture of you and a female. So I don't care if it's your spouse, your lover, your best friend, your aunt, your mother, your daughter, a stranger. I don't care who it is, as long as it's you and a female, okay? Which is what I've done here with me and my lovely wife. Okay, now the other thing I wanted to show you here is one of the cool things that you could do on Pinterest is repinning. Now, I want to tell you something about repins here, because it's a super important point, that the vast majority of activity on Pinterest is, in fact, in the repin, what I'm about to show you how to do. So I love fast, fancy cars, and I have a board. Remember, you could start bulletin boards, or they're called boards on Pinterest, on any subject matter that you're interested in, that you're passionate about, okay? So I have a board called My Dream Cars. These are cars that I either own or cars that I intend to buy. And I just love to basically have my little wish list of my next car here, which is probably going to be this Porsche Macan in white. This is the next car I'm looking to buy. So I love looking here and seeing and just kind of daydreaming about this car purchase. And I imagine myself driving this car. I imagine myself picking up this car at the dealer and driving off the lot with a big wide smile. These are one of the things that I love to do with with my boards on Pinterest. But let's actually look at let's actually look at this one. Now, I said a little while ago that Pinterest actively encourages sharing, okay? And what you see on your screen now proves that point, because as I mouse over these images, you see this little suggestion that comes down, the save to my dream cars board. Well, that's cool, right? That's what we want. So, and I don't think I actually have this particular image saved. So let me just go ahead and save that to my board. Now, if I come back over here to all of my boards on Pinterest, and I come down to here and you can see here, I either have or belong to 55 boards on Pinterest at the moment. But if I come down here to my my dream cars, this is the image that I just now pinned, this one right here, right? Now, when I click on this, I don't want to save it again. Let me just click on it again. When I click on this, I'm not sure what's going to happen. I know what could happen is if this person, whoever pinned it in the first instance, put a link behind it, embedded it, it should take me off someplace else. And what it does, as you can see here, is it just takes me to where this image is on Pinterest. So this is actually a great thing to demonstrate to you, because the cool thing about Pinterest is it's loaded with people that are passionate about whatever it is they're passionate about. And they're not necessarily marketers, which when you're a marketer like us, like you and I, because you and I are both marketers, we that should make us smile when you learn that, hey, this is this is a platform of people that have lots of, they're very passionate about whatever they're passionate about. So that's a very cool thing. Now, so that's how to repin something. That's how to repin something. As a matter of fact, if I go back here, I'll show you another example here of what this person could have done. As a matter of fact, when I mouse over this, click on the one over here, and click on it, well, what happens to that one? Well, that one actually takes me to some blog, it looks like, in Spanish on automobiles. So that could have taken me someplace better too. This actually could have actually taken me to Amazon to buy a book on that car. It could have taken me to a Shopify store to buy maybe a little keychain for it, or a little Porsche emblem or whatever. So the interesting thing here is that that Pinterest, in fact, does allow you to and encourages you to put links into your presentation, okay, or into your pin. So that's how to do a repin. Now I want to show you how to do a pin from the beginning, and I'm going to go over here to one of my blogs called danielhall.name. And I work with a lot of authors and the like, and I wrote this book right down here called Real Fast Writing. So what I wanted to do is to promote this book on Amazon. So what I did was I created this graphic that you see right here. This is Elmore Leonard, very famous writer, novelist, and I love this little quote from him. And it says, "If it sounds like writing, I rewrite it." And I put a little, picture of my book and grab the book on Amazon. Then I uploaded it to my blog here, and I wrote about 100 words here on these 10 rules, and just put it on my blog, danielhall.name. Now, if I wanted to pin this bad boy, I could simply come over here to the little pin icon and then click save, and then it will actually bring up this dialog box that you see right here. Now, I belong to a lot of group boards, and I belong to a lot of boards that are for writers and authors and so forth. So there are a lot of those folks on this Pinterest. And I'm going to actually put it onto this one, book marketing and publishing. I'm going to put it on that group board right now. I'm going to save that, and let's go see that bad boy right now. And there it is. Now, here's what's so cool about this. If I click this link, and let me make it a little smaller so you can see the whole thing here. If I click that, what happens? Well, to me, magic happens. It brings them back over to my blog. This is one of my money sites. I say it's one of my money sites because I'm primarily an email marketer. So I want people to get on my list here. I also want to sell my book. So if you come back here and you click the link, it actually takes you over to where you can buy my book on Amazon. Okay, so that's how to actually pin and repin here on Pinterest. And as I said, Pinterest encourages its users to organize boards dedicated to niches that people are actually interested in. So that's what this really is. I mean, you could think about, just about anything from fake nails to instant pot recipes to chess playing to just about anything in between. Okay. The other cool thing about Pinterest is it's visually stimulating and fun to browse. In fact, it's been reported that people would actually browse Pinterest than watch television. Now, the first time I heard that, I just said that was a bunch of hooey. There's no way that could be true. But the more I thought about it, the more I thought, well, of course that's true, because at least with Pinterest, you get to interact with those subjects, those topics that you're interested in. You can't do that on television, but you certainly can do it on Pinterest. And that's one of the reasons why people love to just browse Pinterest and look at cool images related to those things that they're interested in. The other nice thing is that Pinterest makes it easy to add a clickable link anywhere you want to send them. A little later on in this presentation, I'm going to show you how to do that. So sit tight for that. But the other nice thing is it actively encourages its users to share pins and repins. I showed you that just a second ago. When you mouse over a pin, it'll actually say, hey, why don't you pin this to one of your boards over here or over there? And when that happens, and it does happen like by the hundreds of thousands and the millions of times, as we're going to show you here. But the really cool thing is that every time that image gets shared, the links go with it, right? So the embedded links to every time your image gets shared, it can get shared and reshared and reshared over and over again. And this is how we actually have generated clicks for years. They continue to this very day. So, by the way, if you are not looking at your computer monitor right now, come look at this image that we have here for you, because it's a really pretty important one. Let's say, because I think it really does a good job of demonstrating the exponential sharing that can go on here. Now, let's say that you are this person right here, and because you're one of our students, you know how to put together a really good quality, a really great quality graphic, and in your subject matter. So it's a good quality pin, lots of great content. We're going to show you how to do that here in a couple minutes. But these people are also interested in that content, and because your pin is so well done, they repin it. And on it goes. The repinners of the repinners repin, and it's basically a delicious cycle that could be exponentially be shared over and over again. And this is how you can get clicks back to you, so you get more eyeballs on your offers, and of course then you can make a lot more money. And by the way, this is completely different than so many other types of marketing. Is once you kind of do this once, you don't have to go back and do it over and over again. It's very much an autopilot kind of deal. And this all makes sense when you understand that the average pin on Pinterest, this is according to Shopify, the average pin on Pinterest is repinned 11 times. Now we're going to show you some big time outliers here where we've had over 1 million repins and hundreds of thousands of clicks to our website. But when you understand that the average pin could do at least 11 repins, we're going to actually show you how to be way above average in this very presentation. But it starts to make sense when you could actually have a huge payday with a graphic like you see here. So I want to actually turn things over to my good friend John Kramer. John, can you take folks through our case study with the Bob Harper and the Skinny Rules graphic?
Yes, Daniel, I can. When I first started off with Pinterest about almost 6 years ago, I found this graphic, this black and white graphic on the Skinny Rules in my timeline. I said, oh, I like those rules. Most of them are reasonable. And it's, from Bob Harper, who at that time was part of The Biggest Loser on NBC. And his book was called The Skinny Rules. And I said, well, I like the rules. Most of them are reasonable, but I don't, black and white is ugly and it doesn't shine at all. So I decided I'd make it better. So I put a pink border around it. And I blogged about it. I blogged about the 20 rules, and then I pinned it to my Pinterest profile. And in the next month, I got over 50,000 repins. And I'm going, wow, if I can get that many repins for relatively an ugly graphic, what if I made it prettier? So I took the colors from the book cover, blue and yellow, and made a tall, thin graphic about the Skinny Rules. And you can see it there. It's very tall, very thin. And, it showcases the color of the book. And that graphic in the next 2 years got 1.4 million total repins. And over the 5 years that it's been out there, it's gotten 168,424 visits to my website. So I'm going, wow, that's really neat. And then I started to realize that, this is what is working. This is what will drive traffic, these kinds of typographics. like the Bob Harper one, tall and skinny with, anywhere from 5 to 20 rules. That's what works. That's what's been driving traffic for me again and again. And the neat thing is, a Pinterest pin will last a long time. Daniel told you that the half-life of a tweet is 24 minutes. And, for most people, a tweet lasts somewhere from 20 seconds to 2 days, and then it's gone, and you rarely ever see it again. The half-life of a Facebook post is 90 minutes, and I'm surprised when 2 days later somebody still is liking that post, because that's very unusual in the world of Facebook. But Pinterest pins can last forever, it seems. In this particular study, the half-life of a Pinterest pin is 3.5 months. That's over almost 2,000 times more than the Facebook post, and almost 6,000 times more than the Twitter tweet. And Pinterest has actually said now that the half-life of a pin is 6 months in today's world. And so that's really valuable. It means that it lasts a long time, and you have a lot of opportunity for people to interact with it. And the neat thing is that Pinterest pins convert to eyeballs. In my experience, people click through on a pin or repin anywhere from 2% to 25% click-through rate. So that means a lot of people can come to your website if your pin goes viral. And in my experience, those tall, thin typographics go viral a lot. So here, for example, are 4 different kinds of typographics. The one on the left, somebody else created, and I just repinned it. And from my pin of it, I had over 107,000 repins in the first 2 years and 6,000 visits. 18 things high achievers do, 92,000 pins, 32,000 visits. I mean, that is incredible turnover. 15 things to give up if you want to be happy, 281,000 repins, 38,000 visits. This is all in the first 2 years. 16 unusual uses for cucumbers, 96,000 repins, almost 8,000 visits. But now, this is the real magic, because in the next 3 years, without me doing anything, I got 13,000 more visits, almost 25,000 more visits, almost 22,000 more visits, and almost 7,000 more visits without doing anything. 66,726 visits in 3 years with just these 4 pins on autopilot. So that's really the magic of Pinterest, is how long a pin lasts. But also the neat thing is pins can take off very quickly. Here, for example, is a quote that I took, and I created a quote graphic out of it, blogged about it, pinned it, and within the next 10 hours, 15 people that follow me repinned it. But what was really neat is that 266 other people pinned it as well. These are people that didn't follow me. They found it because somebody else pinned it. And it's the repin of the repin of the repin that really creates the magic of the traffic and the visibility of what you have to offer. And the neat thing is, it works for anybody. Sarah Hathaway, who took our course, Real Fast Social Graphics, she said, my Pinterest and Twitter followers have exploded since I started this program, as well as my blog and website traffic. Now that's what's really neat, and this you can do as well. It's not that complicated. This is the power of the Pinterest share economy. It's a peer-to-peer social media platform. People share to the boards, very, very targeted boards, the things that they love. And then other people follow those boards and they go, wow, I love what they're pinning, and they repin it. And that's what creates the real power of Pinterest. You know, Pinterest as a search engine has over 2 million searches every month. And one reason that people really like to use Pinterest over Google or Bing is because of the peer-to-peer. It's one person sharing what they have found to be good with other people. It's not some sort of vague computer algorithm that's biased. We've learned that. So with Pinterest, the neat thing is that when somebody joins Pinterest and forms a profile, they create different boards for their interests. And I talk about the 6 F's of Pinterest. In my experience, these are the most popular subjects on Pinterest. not the only ones, but fitness, health is one of them. Food and recipes and nutrition, fashion and beauty, family, parenting and kids, anything funny, and anything with cute animals. And also inspiration, motivation, design, home decor, crafts, hobbies, beautiful homes, travel, and more. 80% of the active users on Pinterest are women, but the 20% that are men are more than the readers of Sports Illustrated and GQ combined. So that's a big audience, no matter whether you're appealing to women or to men. Now, how do you make money through Pinterest? Users browse their interests on Pinterest and they discover new things. Sometimes they repin those images to one of their boards, and that, of course, signals to their followers that, hey, here's good content. But they often also click through on the image to find out more about that particular thing, and they will buy. And sometimes, Daniel, I wanted to bring you back because sometimes they save it to a wish list to buy later. And Daniel, you had a great experience with that with
I
one of
did,
your
yeah.
friends.
It actually proved the power of Pinterest. I was actually out with a colleague of mine at lunch. We were having we had pizza at this pizza restaurant. We'd finished up, and my colleague, my friend, she walked outside to wait for me, and I went back to wash my hands, and came out, and I saw her sitting on a bench out in front of this pizza restaurant. And she was doing like a lot of people do while they wait. She was using her thumb, and she was kind of scrolling with her iPhone, and looking. I kind of sat down next to her and kind of looked over her shoulder, and I noticed that she was on Pinterest, and she got really excited, and then saved this pin. I said, "What's the deal?" She says, "I love this. I love this this bracelet. By the way, it was an Etsy seller." And when I go on home, I'm going to buy it. And I don't feel, I'm out here in public. I don't feel like whipping my credit card out now and buying it. But when I get home, I'm going to go buy it. And it's like one of those head smacking moments for me where I'm like, oh my God, this is how people are using Pinterest. No wonder it's so powerful. So, and the really cool thing from that standpoint is there's actually been some research done on just how much that Pinterest user is a buyer. Is
Yes,
that right, John?
yes, Shopify, which is one of the main e-commerce platforms out there, they found out that the average order value of sales coming from Pinterest is $50, and that's higher than any other major social platform. Pinterest is also the #2 overall source of social media traffic to Shopify e-commerce stores. #1 is paid Facebook ads, but they're not working as well nowadays. But the neat thing is 2 million people pin product pins every day. 93% of Pinterest users have used the platform to plan purchases. 87% have actually bought something online after browsing pins. So Pinterest is really, they are buyers, they are shoppers. They use Pinterest to create their wish list, their shopping list, and their bucket list. So it's not just things they buy, but travel and other things. So no matter whether or not you're offering a service or a product, Pinterest is people are there looking for the kind of things you have to share. And I wanted to talk to you. I've mentioned it already. The two most effective kind of pins that I have found that drive traffic to my website. One is quote graphics. That's inspirational, funny, or motivational quotes related to your product or service. And then typographics, 5 to 20 tips in a tall, thin graphic that also features a product shot, book cover, a person using a product, or yourself if you're promoting that. Anything like that. But let's talk about typographics first, because those are, in my experience, are the ones that produce the most viral activity on Pinterest. Think of it as about the size and shape of a bookmark. Minimum 300 by 800 pixels. My favorite size is 720 720 pixels by 1776. It's a nice tall shape and it looks really nice. Now think of it as basically the size and shape of a bookmark. And what you include in that then, in any kind of typographic, is again, you think of it as tall and thin, but condensed content from your book if you're selling a book, great tips on how to use your product if you're selling a product or service, or if you're writing a blog post and you want to add a graphic to that blog post, you can include content from the blog post in your typographic. Use your brand colors or the colors found on the cover of the book or the product shot, a picture of the cover, book cover or the product. And then when you upload it to Pinterest, you can link to your Amazon listing, to a product page, to a sales page, an email capture page, or any other kind of landing page you want to send traffic to. You can even send traffic to your Facebook page. So, Pinterest loves sending traffic away from itself. They do it all the time and they love doing that. Now, I just wanted to show you something that happened just recently. I posted this Pixar 22 Rules of Storytelling. It's a typographic with 22 rules. And in the first 48 hours, I got 1,100 repins. In the next week, I had over 3,800 repins, and it's gone up since then. It's driving traffic to my website every day, just from that one typographic, and I shared that one about 4 months ago. I did one a few months ago on Stephen King and 22 rules for writing, and that one has driven millions of impressions in the less than 3 months, and it's driven a lot of traffic. Now, I want you to know that I'm talking about typographics like the one on the right, not these complicated infographics. They look pretty, but there's two main problems with these infographics. One is they take way too long to create. 18 Things High Achievers Do, I created that in about 20 minutes and boom, it was up there creating traffic from my website. The other problem is that 80 to 90% of Pinterest traffic is on smartphones. And these graphics do not play well on smartphones. They're pretty, but if you actually want to read them or interact with them, you've got to expand them, then scroll back and forth and up and down, and it's just hard. 18 Things High Achievers Do is designed to work and be readable on a smartphone with a simple scroll. That means that people can click through if they like what they have and go to your website to find out more. The other ones, they might repin them, but they'll never get to your site because they've never interacted with them. Here are some quote graphics, and Coincidence is God's Way of Remaining Anonymous from Albert Einstein, over 30,000 repins. Take time to do what makes your soul happy, over 212,000 repins. Nobody cares about your excuses. It's your ass. You move it, 2,500 repins. Now, note that quote graphics where there's a quote over an image works more effectively in terms of getting repins and driving traffic than simple word quotes like the one on the right. The one on the right certainly, had 2,500 repins and it's sending traffic to me, but it's not as effective as the images on the left. Now, the neat thing is Pinterest actually promotes us. They will actually send out email. Whoops. I guess we added a new thing here. Daniel, you're going to have to talk about this.
Well, actually, Alan right now is asking about the copyright issue, and I want to just to show you here, Alan, that with Pinterest, and this actually is directly from Pinterest policies, as you can see here, the link's right there. So if you have a Pinterest account, you, number one, whatever you're uploading, you have to have copyrights to, whatever it is you're uploading. But if you find something on Pinterest that's already there, this is your license. You see where it says you grant Pinterest and our users a non-exclusive, royalty-free, transferable, sublicensable, worldwide license to use, store, display, reproduce, save, and I've actually highlighted it here in yellow, modify, create derivative works, perform even, and distribute your content on Pinterest solely for the purpose of operating, developing, and providing and using Pinterest. So essentially, if you find it on Pinterest, the people on Pinterest certify that they have the copyright, and now that you have an ability to use that. So I just wanted to make sure that the folks understood that what goes on Pinterest is all cool, all above board, nothing even gray hat about this. This is just a part of their terms of service. So I didn't want.
So you went silent there, Daniel. So anyway, as I was saying, Pinterest actually promotes you. They send out emails promoting what they think ideas that you might like, and specifically pins, but they also promote boards and profiles that you might be interested in. And they send out 2, 3, 4 emails a day to you promoting other people's pins. Or in this case, they sent out an email to my wife promoting one of my pins. Nothing makes me happier than to see other people in their purest moments of joy. A quote from Oprah Winfrey. And again, I used a free image that I got, copyright free image, to create that image. That's driven an incredible amount of traffic to my website, and Pinterest promotes it. Now, you can also think of typographics as being very visual. So I call these pictographics. And instead of one image of a car, you will find that you'll get much more visibility on Pinterest and much more interaction and sharing if you do a pictograph with, 4 or 5 images. And if you put that car into action on the road, you'll get even more. So you can see how these pictographics really look attractive. They take up a lot of space, and they're incredible for high-priced products. Here are some other ones that I've seen on Pinterest. One promoting a smartwatch, another one a solar power recharging panel, and another one a smartphone, a really cool smartphone. And these are things that really work well in pictographics. So if you're selling something on Etsy, or some other e-commerce platform, make sure you take multiple shots of your product so that you can create something like this, tall and thin, that will get a lot of impressions and a lot of shares on Pinterest. Here's an example of something that I took. One of my students pinned this Weber 10,020 Smoky Joe 14-inch portable grill, and it was black and white. And I said, wait a minute, you can make it so much more effective. First of all, you don't even need the product name. You got the picture of the grill, but I put in a question: how will you use your new Weber Smoky Joe grill? And then I put wonderful, delicious pictures of barbecue chicken and grilled corn and grilled pineapple and more grilled chicken. And, I would buy that Smoky Joe grill because I'm hungry. And it works so much more effectively that way when you create something like that. And
the other thing I wanted to cover here, because there's another question on this, and that is what about using affiliate links for those folks that are affiliates using Pinterest? Well, here's another part that comes directly out of Pinterest terms of service. This is their community terms of service. And as you can see here, I actually just took a screen grab of it. It says, do feel free to use affiliate links, they even say, and other pay-per-click payment structures as long as they're not spammy. Now, what John and I actually recommend is that you should set up a redirect, even if it is a direct affiliate link. In other words, you should always be in control of where that link directs. So if you have an affiliate link, set it up with on your WordPress site using the it's called Pretty Links plugin for WordPress, and it's free. So you could do that, or actually the best policy, and the one that John and I recommend, is having a 2-step type of process. So you first send folks to your website and blog, and then onto your affiliate offer. So I just wanted folks to understand that. In fact, that's one of the things that I just want to ask you here. And this is a straight up question, and I do expect you to go to your questions box and answer it. When do you think you should start using Pinterest? Put a 1 in the chat if you think it's better to start using Pinterest when you have a group to sell to. In other words, when you have an audience already, or do you think it's better to create your offer and then look for your audience? Put a 2 in the chat if that describes you. So put a 1 in the chat if you think you should start using Pinterest when you have a group to sell to. Put a 2 in the chat if you think it's better to create your offer and then look for an audience. So I'm seeing the ones, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, long 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 2, 2, 2. Okay, and by the way, this is not a trick question, not a trick question. The fact of the matter is that regardless of how you answered this, the answer is you should start using Pinterest now, and here's why. Let's say that you have something that you're planning. In other words, you don't yet have a way to collect money. You don't have an offer out on the internet somewhere, but you know what direction you want to go in. You know what you want to what niche you want to go after. Well, the really cool thing is with Pinterest is you could actually figure that out. You could actually learn what's hot and actually start building an audience or building a platform for yourself. Okay, so if you already have, on the other hand, a buy button out there, an add to cart button, someplace where you can collect money online, then it really behooves you to start on Pinterest. So either way, now is the time to start on Pinterest, and that's really what I wanted to put across to you. Now, we teach, that is, John and I teach many ways to make money on Pinterest with our Real Fast Social Graphics course. Now, I'm going to teach one of you. I'm actually going to choose one of you right now to do a funnel for. And I've got this person right here. I'm not sure is this yours? Is this your? It's the fitness 20-minute body fitness package. Who is this? Are you still here? Because you have to be here to win this. Is this you? Okay, cool. You're going to be the example here, Deontay. Okay, so the first thing I want to do is I'm going to actually introduce you to a couple other sites here. First off, I want to introduce you to Canva, and what we're going to do with you, Deontay, is we're going to actually put together a quote graphic for you. So this is canva.com. It is a free site. You do need to sign up for a free account, but once you do, you could then use all of their graphic design stuff. So what I'm going to do here is once you get in, come over here to where it says use custom dimensions. It's going to pop this light box that you see here. So just type in 300 by 800 pixels and then click design. It's going to actually pop in another tab for us. And you can see here where we've got a nice bookmark shape. This is going to be the graph or the pin that we're going to make for you, Deontay. Now, the other thing I want to do is I'm going to go back over here to Googly and just type in here muscle building quotes, because we're going to do a quote graphic for you. Okay. I like brainy quotes here, so let's go to brainy quotes and see if we can discern something that's really good for our pin. Let's see here. Let's see what Arnold has to say. The last 3 or 4 reps is what makes the muscle grow. The area of pain divides the champion from someone who, no, I don't think that's what I want to say. I don't think I want to say that. This one's pretty good, I think, for what we want to say here. Let's use Florence Griffith Joyner. We're going to actually take her quote. Deontay, copy that. I'm going to come back over here to Canva and then go to text and then go to add heading. And then I'm going to hit Control V and actually get that quote into our available area here. And as you can see, it's kind of large, so we're going to actually remove all of this out of here. We don't need that. And it's still too large, obviously. So if I just click anywhere in here and then come up here to where it says 20 or 42, let's see if we can take that down to a 21, like this. And there we go. Now, the other thing I want to do here is I'm going to actually change this up. I'm not too enamored of this particular font. So I'm going to grab another font here for us. I'm not going to tell you which one to use other than to say that whatever you use should be able to be read from a long distance away. So right here, we're actually going to use this one. I like Catamaran Black a lot. And let's actually make this into a proper quote here. Now, the other thing I want to do is let's come back over to Deontay's site, and we're going to grab a product shot here. So I'm going to use this little piece of software up here. It's called Jing Sun, J-I-N-G, Jing, and this is the Jing Sun. So I'm actually going to grab this as a shot, pull it across here like that. And we're going to save this. So we're going to do 20-minute workout. Okay. So we're going to save that. I'm going to put it here on my desktop. And okay, cool. Now I'm going to come back here. Now that I've got that saved, I'm going to come over here to Uploads and then upload that image that I just now downloaded. So let me go here to my desktop, and where is that? Where is it? Let's see. Here it is. I'll highlight it. We're going to click Open, and as you can see here, it's now uploading to Canva. Now the next thing, once we've done that, Deontay and everyone else, this is your product shot. Once it kind of comes all the way up to the top, you could actually then click, and it will put it on your canvas area right here. So there we go, looking good. Now the other thing I want to do is I want to add a nice headline up here at the very top. So this area right here, we're going to put a nice text in. Maybe can't work out in 20 minutes? Question mark? I like question marks in headlines especially. And so that's our headline. And we're probably going to mess with that a little bit more. So I'm going to click in here. I'm going to decrease the size. Let's see if I can get away with that. Looks good. Let's actually change that up over here. Now, the other thing that we can't work out in 20 minutes. So there we go. Now, the other thing we want to do is, you notice there's a lot of space between these lines. Actually, I want to see if I can go up another size. Let's see if I get away with it. Yeah, I can. So I like this better. So I want to decrease the amount of white space between lines. So I'm just going to click in here, come over here to where it says arrange. I'm sorry, not arrange, spacing. And you're going to decrease the line height. Now, I usually like 1.15 is my preferred, like this. So there we go, starting to look pretty good. Actually, let's do the same thing here. Let's decrease the spacing here to 1.15. So we're more or less even. There we go. And okay, now the next thing I want to do is I'm going to key off some of the images that we see, or some of the colors that I see here in the product shot. Just like John said earlier when he was teaching. So for this, in order to get the exact color, I know it's very small, but if you look here at the top of my screen, you see a little Chrome extension. It's called Eyedropper. It's free if you just go look for Chrome, this eyedropper, and you could actually then pick a color on the web page. So look at the bottom right hand corner as I move. You see how it changes colors down there. So if I want this color, sort of this orange color, which is the color that I actually do want, I'm going to click right there, and it actually sets the color right up here, right? That's that same color as this in the calendar. Now, what I'm going to do next is I'm going to start using that color in a very different way. I'm going to come up over where it says Elements, and then go to Shapes, and then I'm going to add a square in here. Now, I'm going to put that square over the top of my headline, just like this. And you're probably saying to yourself, well, okay. But I want to, before I actually set up the font in here, or the words, I want to change this color. And we're gonna grab this color, this orange that we grabbed earlier. And we're gonna just grab the code for that color by highlighting it, and then I'm going to come over here and then hit Document Colors, and then put that color in just like this. Boom. So there it is. Now you're saying, well, Daniel, that looks funky because you're covering up your headline, and that's true. So I'm going to actually hit this where it says Arrange and send that to the back like that. Okay. So that's looking better. Now, before I go on, I might want to look at this instead of a black on orange like this, maybe a white on orange would look better. I don't know. Let me take a look at that. And I do think that looks better. I like that better. I'm going to keep that, methinks. Now, the other thing I want to do is at the very bottom, you notice I kept this space here at the very bottom to do a couple different things. I could just do a call to action, which would be fine, or I could do a branding. So I could send folks over to Deontay's website. In this case, am going to do a call to action. I'm going to come over here and then just click text, and then add heading once again, and just say grab your free gift here. So I think you have a gift there on that page. And we're going to then come back over here, Catamaran Black, and we're going to make that maybe 18. And there we go. Okay. So that's looking pretty good. Now, the other thing I could do here is I could make this actually a lot larger. So I can go like this, and then go like this, maybe even a little larger. There we go. Decrease the amount of space between those two. Let's bring that down to 1.15, something like this. Okay. Now, great. Now, the other thing I want to do, you notice when I move this around, as long as I have this box sort of squared up here, and I move it around, it will actually snap to the center. You see how that little line shows up in the center? That lets me know, and it lets you know that, hey, you're right in the center. Now, the other thing I want to do is I'm going to key off another one of these colors, and I'm going to key off of the yellow this time. So I'm going to go back over here to my eyedropper, pick from web page, and then go to this orange or this yellow color, and there I grabbed it. Okay, so let's now put in another shape here. we're going to go to and grab the square once again, bring it down, and we're going to change the color of this bad boy to this yellow. Copy. And another document color, we're going to put that in there, just like this. Boom. Okay. Now let's bring that down. And let's send that to the back. We're going to do arrange, then send that to the back. And what else do I want to do with this to make it look a little bit better? I think what I want to do is I'm actually going to go with a white here again. Let's see if I could, how we could grab that. And let's try that. Nope, that's not going to work at all. Let's go back to black. There we go. There we go. So we're gonna call this finished. It's looking pretty good. You know, you could take more time if you want to, but this is a basic quote graphic that we've done for Deonte's site here. So we're going to next come over here to where it says File, save this bad boy, and now we're going to come over here to where it says Download. Now, I'm going to click where it says Download. We're going to download the PNG file. That's cool. That works on Pinterest. And the other thing that I want you to know is that you can, in fact, with this, name your document, or and you should name your document some sort of buyer keywords. Can anyone tell me in the chat why you should be naming your image that you're going to be uploading to Pinterest after with some buyer keywords? Anyone venture a guess? Even if you don't know, try guessing in the chat right now, and I'll tell you why in just a second. But somebody let me know, why am I doing this? So let's see, we're going to do weight training. We're going to do muscle building, and we're going to do gym. We're going to do maybe even some CrossFit. Okay, so exactly right. For those folks, Angela and Alan and Murat and Brian, and yes, it's in Deonte, you are right. And Loredana, yes, you're correct as well. The idea why we do this is because we want our image to be found, right? And the really cool thing is that with Pinterest, it not only can be found on Pinterest, because remember, Pinterest is a search engine, but it also, your pin could also show up on Google if it's done well. So in Google searches. So that's the main reason why you want to be uploading your best stuff that way. Now, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to upload this image that we've done for Deonte by coming over here. I'm back at Pinterest, and I'm going to click where it says Create Pin, and I'm going to go grab this bad boy. And let's see if I could find it. Here it is: weight training, muscle building, gym, CrossFit. We're going to open it, and there it is. Now, remember I said I'd tell you where to actually put the URL. So the URL for this site, let's see if I could actually, where did I put it? Here it is. This is it right here. And we're going to grab that. Actually, it looks like this must be your hop link, so we're actually going to grab that. Copy. And what I would do with this, by the way, is let me just go ahead and grab this just to make sure. Boom. Okay, copy. And we're going to then put that over here. Boom, paste. Now, the other thing I want to do is I want to grab some copy from the site itself. So we're going to grab this copy. Copy. And we're going to put that over here. Grab the system now. Okay. And then we're going to put all that in there, and we're going to hit done. Now, Deontay, you're probably going to have some, muscle building, weight training boards on Pinterest. You probably will. But I don't belong to those kinds of boards. But that's probably where you would be putting this. I'm going to actually put it on one called Articles and Resources. I have a board called Articles and Resources, and I'm going to put it in right now. So we're going to save that. And there it is. So let's actually look at it. And here comes the image, right? And as I let's see, where is my image here? There it is. As I hold on, there we are. Lost it there for a second. As I click on it, where does it take me? Well, it takes me over to Deontay's site here, the 20-minute body. So that's essentially how to go about building a funnel to any page you basically want to send it. So the one thing I wanted to show you here is that while John and I are primarily email marketers, I said, John, we need to prove to people that they could make money directly from Pinterest without email. So he says, no problem. He says, I have a few things running, and as you could see here, John makes between $600 and $700 a month, pretty much on autopilot, and he's not even trying. And it's not just John, by the way. We've had literally thousands of students come through this program. Felicitas happens to be one of them, and she says, I'm happy to report I've recovered more than I've paid for Real Fast Pinterest course by being an affiliate. It's a set it and forget it kind of thing, really. And Dennis Kashkin, the founder of Board Booster, he says that some people earn up to $50,000 per month just from blogging and pinning on Pinterest. And to prove the point that you could sell anything from Pinterest, another one of our students, Tom Antion, he has a number of businesses, but he was using it to promote his Protection Dogs Elite site, where he sells these $20,000 elite protection dogs. Well, Tom actually put together this typographic that you see here called 21 Reasons a Protection Dog is Better Than a Man. And so far, it has produced two $20,000 sales from this is one typographic. So my question for you is, are you excited that you have finally found a way to build your business on autopilot? Let us know in the chat if this is pleasing you. So let me know right now, and I'm going to take a sip of water. Okay, excellent. Thank you so much for that. All right, awesome. So one of the things that I wanted to do now is, by the way, I'm not finished teaching, not by a long shot, but I did want to take a few minutes here to introduce you to our course called Real Fast Social Graphics, which has, by the way, been completely updated for 2018. This training has been around for over 5 years at this point, in one iteration or another, but this has been completely updated, everything new. Knew everything essentially in 2018. And what this is a total system for Pinterest success. And the thing I love best about it is it's specifically designed for people like you and I, people who are not graphic designers or particularly good marketers. I mean, if you are, if you are a graphic designer, or if you are a good marketer, so much the better, but it is not required, okay, to see success and results with real fast social graphics. That's because what you're getting is really mastery in money making on Pinterest and through Pinterest. And we do that in a variety of ways. In fact, one of the ways that we do this is by building images that practically beg to be shared over and over again. And again, I want to remind you that when they are shared, your link goes with it. And the other thing that you're going to get is what we call repin for the win. Now, I said a little earlier that the vast majority of activity on Pinterest is in the repin. So we show you strategies for repinning and using existing images for maximum sharing and clicks. And this is a huge time saver and, of course, potential money maker, because you're using what's already there, what's already on Pinterest, but you're using it in completely different ways than most people will or know how to use it. You'll know how to do it. You'll know how to repin for the win. And the other thing that I really love, and I think you're going to love this too, is we're going to show you how to cash in on trends in your niche. Because here's the rub. Here's what's a real super interesting about Pinterest is if you know where and when to look on Pinterest, you will know how to discern what is hot, what is trending in your niche, even before it's trending in the wider world. So we show you how to spot those trends, and then importantly, how to use that knowledge to drive traffic to your buy buttons and to your offers and to your sales pages and to your opt-in pages, wherever it is you want to send people. You're going to get that. Now, the other nice thing is, in case you haven't figured this out, that Pinterest and e-commerce, they're a marriage made in heaven. So we show you how to actually leverage Pinterest so that you can, in fact, get lots and lots of sales from your e-commerce. So if you've got Amazon, Etsy, eBay, Shopify, if you're doing affiliate offers, if you have courses, you've got anything online, you're going to know how to sell it with this this coaching and training program that we call Real Fast Social Graphics. The other thing we show you how to do is create effective pins, even if you're like John and I, tragically unartistic. So we actually show you how to use programs that you probably already have, things like PowerPoint and MS Word. And even if you don't have those on your machine or you don't want to use them, we actually show you free programs like Pablo, TypeSlab, and I've already introduced you to Canva. There's, of course, much more to Canva than that, but these are all free. So we show you how to use these tools completely for free to make effective images. Now, the other nice thing is that we show you how to profit on 5 minutes a day. Okay, so this is perfect for the busy person who has to get the maximum benefit out of a minimum amount of time. Now, I'm willing to confess to you that that many of the days that I've gone to Facebook to quote unquote, I'm doing air quotes here, to quote unquote influence, interact and engage with influencers and build my business, only to, hours later come away with really not much has gone on except me watching a lot of videos and liking a lot of different posts. That's not what I teach you to do. That's not what we do on Pinterest. We show you how to get on, do what you need to do to get results, and get off. The other nice thing that we show you to do is we show you the secrets of building your author or expert status. So if you want to be an author or expert or in any kind, hey, just look at the folks that are on Pinterest using it. People like Tony Robbins and Brian Tracy and John Lee Dumas, and I mean, these people already have enormous followings, but yet they're on Pinterest and working it hard. Okay, so we're going to show you why they are doing that. In fact, one thing I want to show you here in particular, in the top right hand corner, you see where it says Johanna Basford. You know what her claim to fame is? She sells adult coloring books. Now, not erotica. I'm not talking about erotica here. I'm talking about mandalas and pretty, things that you color as an adult to relax, and it's therapy kind of thing. Well, that's what she does. And even if you're a blogger, I want you to draw your attention to the bottom right-hand corner. I'm sorry, the bottom left-hand corner, where it says the Brown Sugar Food Blog. Well, again, if you have a blog and you want more subscribers, more readers to that blog, we're going to show you exactly what these top bloggers are doing to increase readership by essentially leveraging Pinterest. Now, the other thing I want to teach you about here is group boards. It says group boards equals group love. For that, I want to bring John back on. John, can you teach folks about group boards and why they are so important and why they're a part of Real Fast Social Graphics?
Yeah, Daniel. I mean, the main value of group boards is that it's a way to really quickly magnify your presence on Pinterest in a very effective way. So we teach you how not only to create your own group boards, but how to join group boards. And that's not always easy or clear. And we give you very good tips on how to find the best boards and then ask to join them. But it's also good to create your own group boards like I did here with a board called Blogging and Internet Marketing. And I created that board, and then I invited friends like Joel Comm and Mike Koenigs and Jason Fladian and Daniel Hall and about 80 other people. And most of them, of course, said yes, and they now pin to my board. Now, the neat thing is I control the look and feel of that board. So the board appears on everybody's profile that joins that group board. And as in this case with Joel Comm, it's in a prime position showcasing my graphic on Pinterest is where viral book marketing lives. And, you know, it showcases on Joel's and Mike's and Jason's and Daniel's, my board, and about 80 other boards. And so it's a very effective way to multiply yourself, both by creating your own boards and inviting people to collaborate with you on that board. That's what a group board is. And you can do that. You can create a group board out of any of your boards that you have created. And then joining other people's group boards that have anywhere from 5,000 to 200,000 people following that board and liking it. So it's group boards equal group love.
Absolutely. And that's the other thing. We wanted to make this super easy for you. So we've included a number of really effective pieces of software that you get as bonuses. For example, you're going to get the keyword finder for Pinterest. We were talking just a little while ago about why it's important to use buyer keywords. Well, this piece of software is going to help you to learn what those buyer keywords are for your niche, and also to discover long tail keywords that you could add for your pins and pins description and board description, and even for your profile. The other piece of software that you're going to get is the pin scheduling software. You can use this software to schedule up to 200 pins for free and actually schedule pins from any website like Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram. And then the other really cool piece of software that you get is this Pinterest hidden numbers. So as a matter of fact, you probably may have noticed when we were on Pinterest a little while ago, it was showing those kind of opaque numbers at the very bottom, but that's the software in action. So you can find out the numbers for your pins as well as other people's pins, so that you know the number of repins, shares, comments, creation date. In other words, this is a very, very, very cool tool to be able to piggyback on viral pins. So you're going to get that piece of software as well as a piece of software that creates tall, thin photo collages. And we showed you kind of how to do that with some of the car images. That's basically what it does. So you could actually use this software for free for 5 days, and then it's $10 a month thereafter. Although you don't need to, you definitely don't need it. I prefer Canva myself, but it is a very useful tool if you want to use it. So you're going to get that. Plus the other thing that I'm always telling folks that are my customers and clients is that they should be collaborating more, cooperating more with folks in their niche. And that's fairly easy to do on Pinterest by building what are called tribes. And with the idea behind this is that it actually turbocharges your peer-to-peer sharing, so you get more repins and a faster dissemination of your pins and your images out to a wider group of people. So you're going to get that. Plus, oh, you're going to love this. If you're not looking at your computer's monitor now, come check this out, because we've actually figured out how to piggyback traffic on daily television shows like Dr. Oz, The View, and others. So what we've learned, and I said this a little while ago, that we've been in this game with Pinterest, and we've been working Pinterest for over 5 years now. And one of the things that we discovered was that when we put pins out and that related to some celebrity that was going to be on one of these shows, okay, that as soon as that show aired, many times, not all the time, but many times, we would see a spike in the repins and in traffic to our site. So, you know, we saw that a couple times on accident. We finally figured out, oh my gosh, there's a lot of media buzz going on when somebody appears on Jimmy Kimmel or Ellen or Jimmy Fallon, you know, any of those folks on that day. So we said, I wonder if we could reverse engineer this and figure out who's going to be on before they're on and before the show airs, and create ads that, or create pins that drive traffic. And sure enough, that's precisely what we did. I got to tell you that this one module alone, just this one module alone, is worth the entire cost of admission here. So you're going to get that as well, and it's worth many multiples of what we're going to ask in just a second here, just so that you understand. Now, you're also going to get our personal help. That is, John and I will personally be helping you. The way we do this is with a private members-only Facebook group that you can get lifetime access to. Now, John and I have been talking about including lots of basically a monthly charge for this, $97 a month. If, as and when we do that, essentially, you're going to be grandfathered. You're going to basically, in other words, be getting about $1,200 annually in coaching help from John and I, just as a member of Real Fast Social Graphics. And the other thing I knew that you would want is to hit the ground running. And literally within 20 minutes from right now, with this Canva bonus training and 5 done-for-you Canva Pinterest templates, you could be out and working and actually using this system to create traffic for yourself with that bonus. The other bonus, you know, if you've never seen a Cinemagraph, by the way, look at your monitor right now, because Cinemagraphs on Pinterest absolutely rock. They attract attention, and when you look at them, you can see why they attract attention, and therefore they attract clicks. So we said, wouldn't it be cool if we could show people how to create Cinemagraphs for Pinterest as well? And we've pulled that off for you as well. So you're going to get a complete how to create Cinemagraphs for use on Pinterest using only your PowerPoint program, okay? So a program you probably already have. So you're going to get that. Plus, we've had literally thousands of students come through Real Fast Social Graphics. Judith happens to be one of them. I love what she says here. She says, I've just discovered that traffic to my Proofread NZ website has, as of the 30th of November, tripled from a very consistent 8-year performance level. Okay, let's kind of pull that apart for just a second. She's saying that she's been bebopping along for 8 years at a consistent level. She does what we tell her to do, and she triples her traffic to her website. Yes, this is what can happen for you. And when you understand that when you put together a really good quality board and pins for your boards, that Pinterest can in fact do some email marketing for you. So what you see on your screen right now, direct your attention to the very bottom where it says words and then it says 26 pins. Well, this is one of our students, and this is Pinterest actually promoting one of our students in an email out to, I don't know how many thousands of people this went out to, but when you're doing and following the strategies for putting out good quality content in the form of pins, this is what can happen for you. Not only is it good for you on Pinterest, the platform itself, but Pinterest is potentially out there email marketing for you as well. So yeah, it's a really, really powerful thing when you know how to actually use Pinterest the way we show you how to do in Real Fast Social Graphics. Now, the other thing that you're going to get is Facebook marketing for authors and experts to get more fans. the Twitter Mania Manual, the secret to building an incredibly fanatical following on Twitter, and how to use LinkedIn to promote yourself as an author or expert, find promotional partners, and build long-lasting and useful relationships. You see, taken together, this is a social marketing suite for people just like you and me. That is information product creators, internet marketers, authors, publishers, experts, authors, speakers, and the like. And you're probably wondering, dang, this sounds great. How much is it to get in? Well, the sale price, when we put this on sale, is $497, but that is not your investment. As a matter of fact, if you head over to the link right now, realfastsocialgraphics.com/special, that link is in the chat area right now. Somebody click on that, by the way, and let me know in the chat that it's working. It's realfastsocialgraphics.com/special, or there's a link directly below where you're now watching. Click on that link, or go to open up a browser and just go to realfastsocialgraphics.com/special. You will see a whopping big discount there off even the sale price. Now I want to tell you something, that if you are here live with us and you want the very best deal going, I strongly recommend that you head over to realfastsocialgraphics.com/special right now and grab this very special deal, because I cannot guarantee that the price will stay the same after the webinar is over. So if you know you want it, word to the wise, head over there right now, realfastsocialgraphics.com/special, and grab it. And I want to put this in perspective for you, the investment in Real Fast Social Graphics, because as you can see, it's exceedingly low, especially for what you're getting. But to put that value in perspective, John is getting approximately 4,000 free clicks a week using this strategy. So let's say that you wanted to get 4,000 free clicks over to your Amazon listings or to your websites or to your affiliate offers. And you wanted to go to, say, Facebook and buy those clicks. How much would that cost you? Well, if you are living in a fairy tale land and you can get those clicks for 25 cents a piece, haha, very funny, that was essentially $1,000 in free traffic a week that John is getting. And here's the best part, the traffic just keeps coming. You can't even turn off the traffic. I mean, I guess you could take down the page, but that's about the only way to do it. So go ahead and grab it at realfastsocialgraphics.com/special. That link is in your chat if you're here live with us. If you're on a rebroadcast or a replay or a review, there's a link probably directly below where you are now watching. Head over there right now. The other thing I wanted to make sure that you understood is that we're going to continue to deliver for you. You know, John has been in business for over 30 years, and I've been in business over 20 years now, and our success, and this is one thing that we hold out to be true, our success, we understand, is directly related to yours. That's why we have had such staying power and why you will not be alone in your journey to a more profitable business, because we're here in helping you. The place to go and invest in yourself, realfastsocialgraphics.com/special. You're heading there right now. The other thing I wanted to show you here is, this is yet another one of our students, Keith Wilhelm. He posted this on our Facebook page, and he says, thanks for the Pinterest info, John. It's starting to work great. The pin below has appeared over 1,330 times on Pinterest, plus activity to my website. So yes, folks, our strategies do absolutely work. And in fact, I have one more bonus for you here, or actually a couple more bonuses, but I believe this is to be our best bonus yet, and it's our instant audience bonus. So John, can you tell folks about our instant audience big bonus here?
Yeah, we talked about the value of joining group boards. And so what we did, I created 4 group boards just for members of Real Fast Social Graphics. Each of these has somewhere between 5,000 and 6,000 followers right now. And one of them is called Tips. So you can share your typographics. Another one is motivational and inspirational quotes for your quote graphics. The other 2 are great gifts for women and great gifts for men. So you would have an instant audience of somewhere between 5,000 and 6,000 people every time you pin to one of these boards. So you get that value right away, and you can join as a member of Real Fast Social Graphics and get that instant audience right away.
Absolutely. And I just wanted to highlight once again even more of John's accomplishments. For example, maybe you have heard of Deepak Chopra. Well, he took Deepak Chopra from being a Vanity Press author to being a New York Times bestseller more than 8 times. And then Joel Comm, another New York Times bestselling author, says Kramer is the go-to guy for marketing books. No duh. But not only are Kramer's tips and resources excellent for promoting books, but you could use many of the techniques and strategies for promoting a variety of other goods and services. Highly recommended. And I know some of you are saying, well, dang, this sounds great. How quickly can I see results? Well, here's another one of our students, Rhonda, who says, results update yesterday, July 2nd. I enrolled in the course, watched the videos, and started the implementing. It was like doing part was like late in the afternoon. I had no Pinterest traffic for the last month, but no surprise as I hadn't used it as a source. But drum roll, please, 23.5% of my traffic yesterday came from Pinterest. Once again, let me unpack what she's really said here. She didn't start until late in the afternoon. She didn't probably get her first pin up until later that evening. And yet, within just one day, she had almost a quarter more traffic to her site. 23.5% traffic more came from Pinterest. So yes, it can happen very, very quick. The place to go, realfastsocialgraphics.com/special. I want to tell you about one more bonus here, and that is promoting your novel with Pinterest. So if you're a novelist, we actually have additional bonus training for you. Now, I realize that we have a worldwide audience listening right now. And that's the other thing I wanted you to see here. I took our last 250 buyers and I uploaded it to this service that showed me where they were in the world. And as you can see here, we have people from all over the world, from North America, Central America, South America, Europe, the Middle East, the Far East, Africa, and everywhere in between. So regardless of where you are in the world, this works for you. So we're going to start taking questions here in just a moment. But the place to go, realfastsocialgraphics.com/special. If you've got questions, make sure to get them in the chat right now. And here's one other thing I wanted to make sure that you knew about. And that is, if you are a coach or a consultant or you run any kind of agency, you could actually take what we show you how to do and sell it on a monthly basis. That's what EchoStudio.site is doing here. They're charging between $395 to $745 a month to do what we teach you how to do within Real Fast Social Graphics. So this is a nice little line item to add to your menu of services if you are a coach, consultant, or an agency. Okay. One last thing, and we're going to get into your questions right now, but one last thing you should know about, that the really cool thing about Pinterest is it is fun. It's unlike any other type of interesting marketing. It's one thing that you could actually do, and it's fun to do. I mean, I'm sure you've done a lot of marketing that's drudgery, that's awful, but that's not what we're talking about here, because Pinterest is in fact fun. So the place to go, realfastsocialgraphics.com/special. That link is in the chat. And I've already looked, and it looks like our sales have already started to come in here. And that's a great thing for those of you that are here live with us, because if you want the very best deal, the time to go ahead and grab this is right now, realfastsocialgraphics.com/special. And let's see what kind of questions we have in the chat. If you have questions, you want to get them into the chat right now, and we will answer them for you.
Daniel,
yeah, yes.
Yeah, I noticed a number of people are ClickBank affiliates or affiliates of other kinds of services, and this fits really well with that. I noticed you added that affiliate slide to our
Yes.
program, and it really does make a difference because you can send traffic anywhere you want to any link. And so, of course, you can send it to an affiliate link or do the two-step that Daniel and I do, where we capture the person's email and then send them on to the affiliate link via our link, and that's what I do with Amazon all the time. And the neat thing is, one other thing that people ask is, how does this compare to Instagram? And again, Instagram, it's hot, but it doesn't include links. There's no easy way for people to go to one of your sales pages, one that you really want them to go to, and buy. So Instagram can be high visibility, but very little bit of interactivity. So you don't get the magic that Pinterest offers.
Absolutely, and that's the other thing. I just want to if you want to if you want to see what you're getting, I actually have the members area up on the screen right now, and a couple things I want to show you about it. First off, it's all on one page, so it's easy to navigate. You're not going to get lost in here. As a matter of fact, is if you pull down each one of these line items here with these little down arrows, you can see we have all of the training here for power pinning. We've got how to create pins here in this part of the training, building your followers and profile on Pinterest, how to monetize Pinterest. These are minute training sessions. We'll talk about that in just a second. We've got, this is our bonus section here. And we even have a closed fellow group members where you could join other people and get together from students, other students in this group. A couple things I wanted you to see about this. First off, like if let's say you wanted to look at typographics, the training on typographics. If I click this, just watch this video over here. When I click, it actually changes it out, right? So that's how the images get changed out in between. The other thing I want you to notice is that not only is it video, but we also have a PDF for you in most cases. So you could read or watch, read and watch. It all depends on your preferred learning modality. So we make it even easier for you in that way. And the other thing that I wanted to point out to you here is that if it makes sense, we add just a typographic or we add samples, for example, so that you could learn and then do. So that's the other thing that you could do here. And the other thing I wanted to show you here. It looks like more folks are joining us now, so I want to welcome those folks that have joined us already. And by the way, if you have just joined us, your first bit of homework here is to come in here and join the Facebook group. So I'm actually going to click this image right here, and it'll open up in another tab. So I want you to come over here, and then you can see we have almost 1,300 members in this Facebook group, right over here. So yeah, this is a rocking group, and it's a big group, and so we got some high flyers in here as well. Some real good, very savvy marketers in this group as well. So you're going to get that. Now, the one last thing I wanted to just have John talk about here is if you go right over here, you see where it says click here to request a training. John, can you tell folks about why we have this big, beautiful orange button in here?
Yes, that's because we want you to ask questions. We want you to know, we want to know what you need to know, what you don't understand. If there's anything like that, we'll add new training. For example, I created the training for fiction authors, two video training, because somebody asked for it. I also created training for cookbook authors or people that deal with food, recipes, things like that, and how to maximize your impact on Pinterest and what kind of pins to create and so on to create that kind of impact. And that was all because somebody asked for that training.
Yeah. So in other words, the point being is that this is not some, we just sell you into a members area and leave you to your own devices. That's not how John and I roll. As I said earlier, your success is vitally important to our own success. So we're invested in your success. This is just another example of that in action. So this is a very dynamic type of training. So if there's something in here that you need that we don't have, you just put in, click the button and you tell us, what additional training you would like. So that's a very, very, very unique thing about what we do. The place to go, by the way, and once again, you want to head over there right now, realfastsocialgraphics.com/special. That link is right below where you are now watching or in the chat area. And by the way, if you're here live with us, the reason I keep saying it's in the chat area is that's the only place I could put the link where it's clickable, okay? Or if you're watching it someplace else, you just open up a browser, type in realfastsocialgraphics.com/special, and you'll get the very best deal that we have available. So head on over there right now, realfastsocialgraphics.com/special. Yes, John, tell me. Talk.
One of the people that have been listening to that have left the program because he wants to join right away, and he banged up and said, "I want to join this Facebook page." So he's ready to go. He's hot to trot.
Yeah, good. The typographic that was the one we created today, Marcus, is that what you're after? Because I could let's see if I could find it here on my Pinterest page, and I could just send you the or I'll just put the link in here. Let me bring it up. Where is it? Is it
Can't work out in 20 minutes.
Yeah, the 20-minute workout mean.
There and I got it there, and let's see. I can put it in. I put
okay.
It in
well, yeah. You get it in there for Deontay and Marcus. That would be awesome. So we'll get that in there for you. The place to go right over here, realfastsocialgraphics.com/special. You're heading over there right now and grabbing this.
Oh, Marcus wants the one that I created for him.
Oh, okay.
Well, I created one while you were creating one. I just like to do that, give people maximum value.
Awesome.
And I did send a link there, but let me pull it up again. And I can send you the link again. It's a pretty one. It's featuring one of his clients.
Oh, cool.
And there's the link for that one. Oh, I'll send it to everybody so they can see it.
All right. Yeah, that's awesome.
One of his clients is a book author in science fiction and historical fiction, so I created a pictographic of 6 of her books.
Oh, nice.
And awesome. Then I linked to her website. So anyway, and Marcus has a service company, and that one of the nice things is that this program really works well if you have a service company where you're trying to get people the maximum traffic to their site, and we can do that through typographics and pictographics and other kinds of graphics that we teach you how to create in the realfastsocialgraphics.com/special. Yeah.
Okay. And by the way, just so that you know that the very best deal that we have available is the one we have available right now. And let's see, did we answer all the questions? It's kind of going through the questions here.
Oh, there was one question. Let's see. Gosh, I thought there was one, and now I can't seem to find it. Something that somebody asked, and maybe it was just how long would the access be to the course? And I think Anthony answered it and said it's effectively in perpetuity.
Yeah, I mean, it's as long as John and I are around. Let's put it that way. We intend to have the course up and available for you. So it's not one of those things you've got to get in.
I'm older, but Daniel's younger, so expect at least 30 years.
At least, absolutely. Awesome. So if you have any questions at all with regard to or what questions do you have? Let me put it to you that way. We'll take two more questions, and tell me what questions you have. Two more, and if you have not yet grabbed this very special deal and you have made up your mind to get it, I would go ahead and get it right now. realfastsocialgraphics.com/special. Once again, that link is in the chat area if you're here live with us or on our encore. If you're here on a replay or rebroadcast, the link is probably right below the place where you now are watching. So head over there now and grab this very special deal. If you've been kind of waiting for us to say last call, well, let me just say that we're coming down to the last stretch, but you have about 2 more minutes left, and then we're going to be saying goodbye. So if you have any additional questions, we have time for 2 more. Get them into the chat. Otherwise, head on over to realfastsocialgraphics.com /special. That link is in the chat for us. Marcus is asking, how long will the special last? As I said, it will probably be for the next 4 days, 3 to 4 days. But once again, the very best deal that we have is the one that we have on the page right now. Okay, so I know I've said it a couple times. I can't guarantee that price after this webinar is over. So if you want it, I strongly recommend you go over there and grab it right now. Okay. So any other deals? Any other questions? Marcus says, yes, I understand. Awesome. Any other questions? I have a whole bunch of folks to welcome into the fold. I want to thank you so much for investing in yourself by investing in this program, and also let me know from you. Make sure that you get into the Facebook group for everyone that's jumping in right now. I was not kidding when I said you should first order of business, get into the Facebook group here. So you're going to land into the members area, and then you're going to come over here to where it says join the Facebook group.
Oh, another question. It looks like.
All right, let's see. So all you do is just open that up, and there you go. So in it goes. So Brian said, yep, that's right. So Brian, I see your question here. You are welcome. And yes, the link that you want to go to, Brian's asking where the buy link is. It's right here once again, realfastsocialgraphics.com /special. You may want to jot that down if you can't head over there right now and grab it. realfastsocialgraphics.com /special, and we will in fact get a link out to you likely in the next couple days. Okay, so I don't see any other additional questions.
I don't.
Do you see any additional questions that I've missed here, John?
No, Daniel, I don't. But this has been a really nice group. People are really responsive. They've been asking good questions. I hope to see a lot of you in the members group in the next few days. Hopefully in the next few minutes.
Yep, I would strongly recommend that you'd do that. realfastsocialgraphics.com /special. And I'm going to then turn it over to you, John, for final remarks. And thank you, John, and thank everyone for being here. So over to you, John, for final remarks.
Well, thanks everybody again for joining in, and I hope we gave you a lot of good content. And I hope again that you would join us at realfastsocialgraphics.com /special. you'll be glad. Daniel, you often say the thing about what they expect in the next year, and I forget exactly how you say it, but you say it well. Could you add to that?
Yeah, I mean, one of the things that we've noticed with so many of our clients, because we've been doing this, as I said, for well over 5 years now. And one thing that I really do for those folks that are joining us, and once again, I want to thank you for that. Um, for those people that are joining us, I know in my heart of hearts that 1 year from right now, you will look back on today's decision to invest in yourself by investing in Real Fast Social Graphics, and you'll say, dang, that was one of the best decisions that I've made for my business. And that's not marketing hyperbole. That's just how I feel from seeing how, the literally thousands of students that have come through Real Fast Social Graphics over the years. So if you know, and I should say, we didn't even say this, we do have a 30-day money back guarantee. So if you find that this is not right for you, it's no questions, no hassles, refund within 30 days, but you're going to love it. The place to go, realfastsocialgraphics.com/special. That link is in your chat. And we will see you in the members area. Thanks so much, John. And we'll see everyone in the members area and in the Facebook group. Goodbye, everyone.
Goodbye, everyone. Thanks.